June is the time of year where spring has gone, but even though it feels like summer, the summer flowers have yet to arrive. The ranunculus are over, and we're still waiting on zinnias. This week, we're going to do a bunch of tasks to flip this garden from spring to summer, and we're going to start by harvesting a little joy. First up, a little feverfew harvest, or should I say a giant one, because these things are huge. I'm harvesting them from the back because there's some yarrow and rudbeckia over here, and I want to make some room for them. Also, the larkspur looks so pretty with the feverfew background. I'm going to dry a lot of this so I can use it for holiday decorations later in the year. Eventually, I will cut all of it though, because my understanding is that feverfew is at its best in year 2, which is now, and then it will fade. So I will plan to cut this patch back and plant fresh this fall. Okay, I'm gonna stash these in the shade while I go grab some sweet peas, which are killing me this season in the best way. I planted them in 3 different places, all of which get morning sun and afternoon shade. And even through a couple of nasty heat waves, they are still producing. I wonder if I can keep them going all summer like they do in the Pacific Northwest. The scent of them is so wonderful. I feel like every sniff adds days to my life, which is not scientific, but I know it's true, and we can just wait for science to catch up. The flowers last for 4 or 5 days in a vase, but the scent really only lasts for 1 day, which means I have a new routine of coming out here with a cup of water and gathering a handful almost every morning. It's funny, when I look out my window, I often think, not many sweet peas today. But once I get out there and start cutting, I end up with a really good handful every single day. And it's important for me to stay on top of harvesting, because once the flowers turn into pods, the plant will stop blooming, and we can't have that. When I'm cutting these, sometimes I'm cutting a little bit of the vine and the tendrils because they're so cute, but I'm cutting a bunch without any of the vine as well, because I want those vines to continue to climb. And as I'm cutting them and visiting them, I am also encouraging those tendrils to attach to the trellis. So you'll see me tucking some blooms in behind the wires as I go. Now, sweet peas are lovely in arrangements, but honestly, I think my favorite way to enjoy them is just to put them together in a glass and stick them on my desk, where I can sniff to my heart's content. The next thing I want to get done today is put the wedding lisianthus in the ground. I started these from seed back in April, and they are looking really good. I've got dark purple, lavender, green, and brown. So I'm going to get this bed amended. I'm going to take out some of the volunteers that have showed up in here and get these guys in the ground. As usual, I'm adding some compost to this bed, which in practice works more like a big pot. It needs amending all the time, especially when I'm growing multiple rounds of crops throughout this season. And of course, flower food helps with that too, so I'm putting some of that in for good measure. When I planted these, I put 2 seeds in each block. So as I plant them out in this bed, I'm giving them about 4 or 6 inches between them. Lizzies tend to grow straight up, so they don't need a lot of space, but they will need some support before too long so they don't fall over. There are about 40 plants here in total, so if I got the timing right, that will be a nice bunch of flowers for the wedding. Maybe not for every single bud vase, but at least for the bridal bouquets and the arch designs. Lisianthus are pretty forgiving in terms of when you harvest them. They can hold on the plant after blooming for a week or so I'll have a little flexibility. And of course, I'm going to give them a really good drink after planting to help those roots connect with the soil. One thing I've noticed about this bed is that the soil dries out really fast and it can become a little bit hydrophobic after a while, which means you can water it, then stick your finger in, and like half an inch down, it's bone dry. One really good way to resolve that is to water it very lightly, let it sit for 10 or 15 seconds, and then come back again. That breaks the surface tension on the soil and lets the water start to sink in. Okay, the lizzies are planted, they're watered in, and they're going to be in shade here in an hour or two. This is why I waited until now to plant them. So I wanted to give them a little bit of time in the sun so that the water could get off their leaves, but not be blasted all day. So they'll get some shade this afternoon. Then we're coming into like a week of cooler weather. And that should give them a little bit of time to settle in before it starts getting hot again. You may notice we've made some changes up on the deck. We no longer have a big ugly umbrella here that we never use, blocking the view. Got rid of that, amazing. The next thing is to take down the greenhouse because it's no longer spring. We don't need it for hardening things off. Most everything is planted now, and the stuff that's not planted can just be hardened off on the porch. So yeah, I'm gonna take this thing down. As it turns out, I ended up not really loving this greenhouse. It was really big, and this was the only place that it would fit. And on sunny days, it ended up getting way too hot. Plus, the ties that hold the door open broke when I was trying to tie them in a bow one day. Both of them in the same 5-minute span of time. So that doesn't bode well for the quality. We really just ended up using this for storage more than anything else. And that's kind of a waste of some excellent sunny growing space. So bottom line, I'm glad we tried this, but live and learn. I do not think we will use it again next year. Last year, we had a smaller greenhouse that we put against the north-facing fence, and that one worked a lot better. It did not get direct sun, so it did not get too hot. Maybe we'll go back to that next year. Or we might just keep hardening stuff off on the front porch because that works really well. It's very easy to keep an eye on everything there. Either way, I'm really glad to reclaim this space. Now you see all of these shelves that sort of make up the frame. I'm taking the top part off, but I'm going to keep the shelves together because I want to use them in the corner of the deck here to put some flower pots on. I have a lot of seeds and soil in empty pots, so I think we can do something really lovely over here. But that's for another day because right after I did all this, I had to go inside, chug an ice cold seltzer, and sit under a fan for an hour. It is hot. Of course, I did come back outside to clean up though, and I put the greenhouse cover along with some of the stuff we've been storing in the greenhouse in the basement. Look at this deck now. I'm not done, of course, but it's really nice to have all this space back, and I look forward to filling it with a bunch more flowers. It's looking so lovely out here. I have to say I don't really have any focal flowers for arrangements right now, but my house is full of flowers either way, and that is enough for me. Pretty soon we'll have tons of snapdragons and zinnias to play with, and I am still planting seeds, y'all. My arrangements this week may be a little random, but they are thrilling to me either way. Oh, yeah, and I did hit up Trader Joe's for some peonies, eryngium, and buplurum, along with my homegrown feverfew to scratch the arranging itch. And later this week, I'm hitting up the local growers co-op for the very first time, and I will be sure to share that with you. There is always more to do, but I think I'm going to call it here for the day because I'm about out of gas. I'm really excited about everything that we got done though, and for the last few things on my list to have the summer garden fully completed and planted out. So thanks for joining me today. I hope that you will subscribe to follow along as more and more flowers come online. And have a wonderful week, friends. I'll see you in the next one.